Hello, welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and occasionally even things. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today I will be reviewing something for you. And that something is the KOOTEK travel carrying case for the Nintendo Switch. Now, the Nintendo Switch has been out for a little less than 3 months now, and already there are myriad different options for carrying your Switch around with you. When I first purchased my Switch, there weren't very many cases out there, and I ended up purchasing this Hori case. It was very decent, gets the job done, pretty slim, nice hard shell, has a little card carrier here, you can fit 5 games, not a heck of a lot, but it did the job. It basically could only fit the Switch, and maybe you could fit like an HDMI cable in here, or maybe the Joy-Con straps. It would be pretty tight. But this was a very slim, very minimalist design, and it was fine. But then I got the Waterfield City Slicker case for the Nintendo Switch. This is a very premium case. You may have seen my review on the channel, but there are other options that might be a little cheaper. I think the Hori case was $20. This KOOTEK case, which was sent to me for review by KOOTEK, is $12.99 currently on Amazon.com, which is very, very cheap. There are quite a few different cases that have a very similar design to this. I'm not sure if they're all made by the same manufacturer and different people are licensing them or reselling them, but this is pretty much the cheapest one I found. Usually cases like this on Amazon range from $15 to $20. It is a hard shell design. It has 2 different inserts hinged for game cards. Each carries 10 game cards, which is pretty nice. Has a mesh pocket in the back here to fit more accessories, and it has a Velcro strap here to secure your Switch when it is inside the case, and indentations to sort of keep it firmly in place. But let's take a closer look at this case. I'll describe some of the features and let you know whether or not it is worth your time and money. So let's take a closer look. Let's go over some of the features of the KOOTEK case. It is a hard shell design. It has sort of a textured, kind of nylon feeling cover on the outside. We have this nice red accent around where the zipper pull is. It does have a little carrying handle on top. I'm kind of torn about these. There's quite a few cases out there for the Switch that have these carrying handles, but I can't really imagine me daintily walking around with this carrying handle, but I guess it does provide utility. So 2 zippers, you open it up. This is actually the way it would go here. You have these 2 card holders, so you have 10 slots on each card holder, and they actually go in the bottom this way. And first I thought that was kind of weird, but then now that I think about it, as you're flipping this down, it just provides easier access. Let me grab a card. I've got one in my Switch case here, and I've only got like 2 cards right now because I've gotten most things digitally. So as you can see, it's held in by the elastic. So let's say you open your case, and then you have quick access. As opposed to it being here, I think you might be, I don't know, might be running into the lid of the case. It does make sense, and they seem to hold them fairly securely. You also have this Velcro strap here that holds the Switch firmly in place. And then there's this other little strap that if you put down, let me grab my Switch so we can actually show you this. You place the Switch thusly. You can Velcro it down to keep it secure inside the case. And then if you want to remove the Switch, you would take off the Velcro, and then this little tab helps you do that. It also has these indentations here on the bottom. There are 4, 1 in each corner, and those are made to hold these little lumps on the Joy-Cons for the shoulder buttons, or for the triggers. So it works this way, but then if you put your Switch upside down, you have the indentations on this side as well. So basically it doesn't matter which way you put the Switch inside the case. You also have this mesh zippered pocket here where you can keep more accessories. I don't think you can really fit a Joy-Con. I tried, they go in there. Actually, let's see if this will actually work. I did it once. It seems like if you go to the side with the Joy-Con so they're not in the way of where these card holders are, you actually can fit 2 extra Joy-Con in. So let's see if I can actually zip this all up and if it works properly. You'll see it here first. I won't strap it together. Yeah, you can do it. And it doesn't feel like it's putting too much pressure on the Joy-Con or anything, so that's a bonus. You can fit extra Joy-Con in here. When I was using this case, I actually had a mishap with my Waterfield case. The bag I was carrying it in, a large mug of coffee got emptied into the bag. It got this soaking wet. I had to wash the whole thing and then let it dry forever. You can still see sort of the water stains on there, but it's not too much worse for wear. But when I was carrying my Switch in this case, I would have the Switch itself, like so. I usually just had one game card in the card slot here. The only physical games I have are Zelda and Mario Kart. Everything else I have is digital. So I'd have one game card. I wasn't carrying around extra Joy-Con for the most part. What I do normally carry is 2 Joy-Con straps, like so. I usually have a headphone splitter in case I want to play some multiplayer with somebody in a place where we can't be loud and obnoxious. Usually some sort of screen wiper. And then some earbuds. These are just kind of some cheaper Sony earbuds here. And everything fits quite easily into this case. And I actually grabbed, now this is what I normally carry in it, and what I was carrying in this case. Everything zips up nicely, keeps it securely in there, and you have plenty of room to close the KOOTEK case. I did notice, because of these inserts, they sort of push into this upper pocket area. So if you distribute some of the bulkier things to the sides, you'll have an easier time closing it. But with what I carried in there, it's not a big deal. I wanted to see if you could carry an adapter for the Switch. So let me grab all this stuff out of here right now. And I managed to fit it in there. This is the AC adapter for the Switch. But with the way that these card inserts go, it was kind of hard. It'll fit in, it'll zip in, but it's a little too bulky to close comfortably. When I do it, you can get it zipped closed, but it's putting a lot of pressure on the face of the Switch, so I don't really recommend putting in the AC adapter. But as we just discovered, you can put in the Joy-Con, 2 extra Joy-Con, so that's pretty useful, and that's quite a bit more than you can fit in most Nintendo Switch cases. I definitely can't fit extra Joy-Con in my Waterfield case, and especially not the Hori case that I showed you earlier. So, positives about this case. It holds the Switch very securely inside. The indentations in the bottom of the case hold the Joy-Con quite securely. It doesn't jingle around in the case at all. It has a lot of game media storage. If you have a lot of cards, physical cards, you can put, I can't imagine you running out of room here. And frankly, I'm not really getting physical media very often, so I don't need these necessarily, but it's nice to have them if you want them. And then you have a lot of storage space in this zippered mesh pocket. Like we showed you, you can fit Joy-Con in. If you put them sort of in the side here, they will close with no problem. One thing you might want to do is sort of offset the sticks. So you see this stick is here, this stick is here. You can offset that way. And then this one you can sort of jockey it around, do the same thing. Things that I don't like about the case, well, some people might think of this strap as a benefit. I find it just annoying. I don't need my Switch to be Velcroed into the case. I would prefer not to use it, but when you put it in, like so, the strap itself sort of makes it so the Switch won't seat down entirely. So every time you put the Switch in, you do have to kind of finagle this thing and deal with it. It's not a huge deal. Some people will see this strap as a benefit. I'd rather not have it at all. And if I were going to be using this case all the time, I'd probably just snip it out. I still do like this little tab here for pulling the Switch out once it's been in the case. That's fine. The other negative is maybe only have one of these card holders, because these together actually provide quite a bit of bulk, and if they were filled with game cards, you do have less room in your zippered mesh pocket here above. I might prefer just having one of these, give me a little bit more room to store accessories up here. But all in all, I'd say this is a pretty good case for the money. $12.99 is pretty cheap for a Nintendo Switch case. It does the job. One other slight negative is it is pretty bulky. You can see if we compare it to the Hori case that I have, it is much thicker. And then even with my Waterfield case, now I don't have the Switch in it right now, but you can just sort of see by the bottom of the case, that's about as thick as it gets. And the KOOTEK case is quite a bit thicker. So it's a bit bulkier, but you do get to carry more accessories. So there you have it, the KOOTEK travel carrying case for the Nintendo Switch. For $12.99 currently on Amazon as of the recording of this video. I will post a link to the Amazon listing in the description box below. You could do a lot worse for that price. Like I said, there are quite a few cases with similar features out there, but they all range around $15, $20. This is a little bulkier than I might like, but again, it's a trade-off. You get a little bit more storage space. So yeah, $12.99 for a durable, seemingly well-made Nintendo Switch carrying case. I think it's definitely worth checking out. So if you are interested in this case, check the link in the description box below. I think it's a very decent case and a good option for you if you don't want to spend a heck of a lot of money. So thank you so much for watching this review of the KOOTEK travel carrying case for the Nintendo Switch. I've been your good friend Bradley. You've been the audience. This has been Stuff and Things. I'll see you later.